Hi, welcome to BlueFX.net. My name is Marcelo Cabran. Thanks for buying this last time recorded Virtual Studio 2. It's a big pleasure for us to present you this upgrade from our previous successful template Virtual Studio 1. And I'm here to show you step by step how easily you can customize this whole project in the most fast and efficient way. So let's move on.
In the delivery folder that you receive, you will find all these folders. As you see, each one of them corresponds to a particular color setup. For the purpose of this tutorial, we'll use this folder. Just open it by double-click. And here is your project. Once you get inside, you will find in the project manager all these folders and the 00 main edition composition, where you will find our final edition. I will explain you what you will find in these other folders. All the scenes that you are seeing in the timeline are contained here in this All Scenes folder. So if you want to make a different final edition, you just need to drag the scene composition that you want from this folder to the timeline. The Customize folder contains all these other folders and this 00 color control composition. All the text folders contains all the text composition that we can call operators. I will explain you just a little bit forward what these operators makes with a practical example. In this folder, C1 video and C2 video, by the way this means camera 1 and camera 2 scenes, you will find all the videos container where you can put your video to show in the camera 1 or camera 2 scene. In the double screen folder you will find all the elements that you can modify in this scene. This other folder, the lower third composition, contains all the lower thirds that you can use in the 00 main edition composition or inside the camera 02 or camera 01 composition. The Reporters Chroma Key folder contains the composition where you will put the final Reporters Chroma Key footage. You have here all the composition enough for 10 reporters. Finally, you have here the U logo composition, where you will find the U logo here composition and the 3D logo composition. Other composition folder contain all the composition that you don't need to change. All the others resolution folder contain the same main edition composition but in all these different resolutions. Okay, it's time to talk about the timeline. This is the 00 main edition timeline. As you see here, we use it to edit all the scenes using the lower third composition over the scenes. This yellow layer here are the transitions which we use to blend the scenes together. So this way you have here all the elements to make your own broadcast edition, just playing around with all this composition in this timeline. Now we're gonna make a practical example to show you how all this works together. Let's start. I will delete all this composition here to start a new edition. Okay, let's suppose that you want to start with the camera 1 composition. Let's open it to see what you will find inside. As you see, there is a lot of layers here, but don't worry, it's more simple than it looks. All the elements that you will work with in this scene are this yellow layer right here. You don't need to touch the others. If you don't want to see the rest of the composition, just make click here in this shy button, and they will disappear in the timeline. The first one is the camera control. Select the layer and press the U key of your keyboard to see all the keyframes. This keyframe controls all camera movements. We have a first position. Then the camera it moves to the second position. Then it moves again to the first position. But if you don't want any camera movement, or you prefer just one of these positions, you have to keep the keyframe that you want and delete the others. Now we'll jump to the Reporter Chroma Key 01 composition. This composition contains the reporter footage. Let's open it to see inside, making a double click over it, holding in the same time the Alt key of your keyboard in the After Effects CS3 version. As you see here, we have some guidelines to keep the reporters between them. I will add this reported footage to this composition. This is a chroma key footage. We recommend you to make the chroma key in a separate project, so this way you are not adding more complex process for the final preview render. Let's go back to the camera 1 composition. Once you put your reported footage in this composition, all the reporter's floor shadow will be created automatically. Now let's talk about videos. To control the in and out of the video that you want to show inside this camera 01 composition, you don't need to touch any keyframe inside other composition. You have all this layer with these in and out marks right here. Each layer has the name of the video that is controlling. So this way you can add only 10 videos to this composition because you have only 10 videos controls. This composition has 1 hour of duration and every element inside has the same duration time. So we consider that you have all the time enough and all the videos enough for this scene. But if you need more, just send us an email about your requirement. Okay, let's make in the video C1. Just move the mark at the point of the timeline where you want the video appears. For example, here. And then move the out mark to the point where you want the video leaves the scene. As you see, it's really easy. Now once you have your video on stage, let's fill it with a video to show. First of all, move the indicator over the first mark and pay attention about it, because this is what we call relative time in After Effects. With the indicator in this position, let's go to the Customize folder in the Project Manager and open the C1 Videos folder. Then open the C1 Video Holder 01 and move the timeline scale till you can see this layer and its marks. Now move the in mark in the same point of the indicator. Let's go back to the camera 01 composition and set up the out point. Okay, let's go back to the C1 Video Holder 01 composition and move the other mark in the indicator point. So this way we have the in and out reference of our video to keep between this mark the exact part of the video that you want to show. Let's add a video here. If you want to add more than 4 videos to this composition, just make click in the shy button to see the rest of the elements. Go down till you can see all these layers and press the hide icon of these 2 layers with the same number. There are 2 because one is the video and the other one is the flow reflection of this video. Now we have to modify the info text below the video screen. To do that, let's open the old text folder and locate the C1 Video Info Text composition. As you see, you have here all the text of all the camera 01 compositions. All the text info are referenced here. Just select which you want to modify and change the text, retyping a new title here. I will make some changes. Okay, let's go to the camera 01 composition to see how this looks. As you see, all the text information for all this video has changed. To have a reference about the point of time when you finish this presentation, let's add a timeline mark right here. Let's go back to the main edition composition and bring from the old scenes folder the camera 01 composition. And cut the composition in the end mark reference. Okay, we have the first scene. We can name it in this composition headline titles. What if you want to add some lower thirds here to highlight the video information? Let's go to the Customize folder and then open this Lower Thirds Comps folder. As you see, you have 10 lower thirds to add at your main edition composition. Just drag it from here to the timeline over the headline titles composition.
Note: once you bring the lower third in the timeline, you have to collapse it to make the composition layers blending walls over the timeline. To do that, just make click here in this little collapse icon.
And let me show you now how you can control the in and out of this lower third and all the text elements inside this composition. First of all, place the lower tier and move the indicator in the point of the time where you want this lower tier appears. For example, here. To start the in animation, just open this composition, making double click over it and holding the Alt key in the same time. Don't move the indicator. Once you get inside, you will see all the marks at the first frame of this composition. Just move each mark at the indicator point. Now we have the in animation. Let's go back to the main edition composition. Now let's see when you will want the lower tier leave the scene. Let me see, could be this point. Okay, without moving the indicator, go back to the lower tier 01 composition and move the out marks in the same point of time of the indicator. Now, if you want organic movement for the in and for the out, just play around with these marks, making some offset difference. Let me show you how. Now we have the first lower tier in the right place, but what about all this text? How we can change it? Easily. Go to the project manager again and open the old text folder. Then open the lower tier text 01 composition. This is a text operator. You have here the main title, the secondary title, these little numbers, and the ticker info text, which is this little animated text right here. Okay, let's change it. As you see, all the text is updated automatically. Okay, we're done here. Let's see how to modify the intro, because you will need to add your logo intro after the headline titles presentation. To do that, open from the All Scenes folder the intro composition. Once you get inside, move the indicator over this mark to see your logo composition. To change your logo, you have to open the Customize folder, then the Your Logo folder, and finally open the Your Logo Here composition. Here you can add your own logo design. We recommend you to use a vector file or a PSD or PNG file with alpha channel. Let me show you how this works. I will add here our BlueFX logo file. This is a PSD file. I will hide all these other layers. Let's check this out in the intro comps. As you see, the logo has changed. From the same Your Logo folder, open the 3D logo composition. Let me show you this with a custom camera. Here you can choose between a metal style or a plastic style with some animated reflection inside, or a simple extruded one with your own colors. I will keep this simple extruded logo style. Let's go back to the intro comps. As you see, the logo has changed automatically. Let's go back to the main edition composition. Now I will add the intro composition after the headlines title composition. Let me make some little adjustment here. Okay, it's time to add a transition between these two compositions. To add a transition here, just drag it from the All Scenes folder to the timeline. And adjust the position using this mark to place it exactly between this composition. Let's see how this looks. Okay, done. After the headlines and the intro, you will need to go to the TV studio again, so you can use the camera 02 composition with two reporters. Let's set it up. Just open it from the All Scenes folder. In this composition, you will see all these yellow layers. The rest of the layers are hidden in the timeline by this shy icon here. Let's start with the camera control. Select the layer and press the U key. All this keyframe here represents the camera movements. This is the in traveling movement and this is the out traveling movement. You can modify the camera timing by moving these keyframes here. As an example, I will move these keyframes to have more time to show videos in the background.
To add the reporter footage behind the desk, open from the Customize folder the C2 video folder and the two reporters composition. Once you get inside, put the footage right here between these guidelines. And hide this reference. Let's go back to the camera 02 composition.
Now, we have to show the news video in the background. We're gonna make this in the same way like the camera 01 composition, just moving marks. Let's suppose that you want to add a video here while the camera is moving. Select the video 01 in-out control and move the first mark in the point of time when you want the videos comes in. Now, let's make it leave the scene in this point. And in this point, I will start to moving the next video screen. And I will make it leave the scene at this point. And I will move at the same point this in mark to show the next video. Of course, all this time it depends on the time when the reporters begin to speak on the news related with this video. Now let's put some video on the screens. First of all, we need to take some reference of the timeline to set up the in and out of the video in the placeholder. So let's move the indicator over the in mark of the video 01. And then let's open the 02 videos from the Customize folder. Now open the 02 video holder 01 composition. Without moving the indicator, move the in mark to the same indicator position. Make the same for the out mark. Now, let's add a video here. And the same for the rest of the videos that you want to show. Okay, now I will put a mark here to have an end reference of this composition. Let's go back to the main edition. Now I will drag the camera 02 composition from the All Scenes folder to the timeline. We'll make some little adjustments. I will cut the composition at the end reference mark. Let's add a new transition here to blend the scenes together. Done. There is just one more scene to talk about, the double screen. Open it from the All Scenes folder. Once you get inside, you will see these yellow layers with the marks to control the in and out of the left screen, the right screen, and the lower third. This mark here is pointing the exact time when the live interview logo leaves the scene. To make all the elements come inside the scene, let's start with the left screen and the right screen, and a little bit forward the lower third. Now we have all the elements on stage.
To add the reported footage in the left screen, open from the Customize folder the double screen folder, and then the reported double screen left composition. Once you get inside, put the footage right here between these guidelines. And hide this reference. Okay, done. Let's go back to the double screen composition.
Let's see how to modify the text inside this composition. From the All Text folder, open the double screen text composition. As you see, you can change all the double screen text just changing this text. Let me make some changes. As you see, the text has changed automatically. Okay, now I will put a mark here to have an end reference of this composition. Let's go back to the main edition composition.
One of the most important steps when you make an edition is have the chance to add a video when you want. In this particular scene, the camera 02 on the double screen, the reporters could introduce the video with some comments. And after that comments, the video will fill the scene. To do that, just bring the video in the point of the timeline when you want to show it. Let me show you. And then, put the lower third over the video and set it up. That's all.
Okay, the last composition to talk about is this one right here, the 00 color control composition. Open it by double click. This is a one frame composition. As you see, you have all the scenes here and all the elements to change the color. All these color bars are different color combination sets. Select one of them to change the color inside the composition. In the timeline you have color controls from different elements and compositions. I will show you now how easily you can change all these colors. Let's start with the background and logo control. Select the layer and you will see all the colors control in the Effect Manager. Select all the effect with the Shift key and open it. With this tool, select the color from the color set that you have chosen. Note, all the bright object has an asterisk, so use the brightness colors from the color set to keep them brightness. The process is quite the same for the rest of the color controls. Let me show you how this works in a simple process. Okay, I think you already know all that you need to know to customize this project by your own. My name is Marcelo Cabral from bluefx.net. If you have any question about this template, please feel free to contact us at bluefx.net. Thanks for your time and I will see you in the next tutorial. Bye!